What's up, guys? Doug Polk here, and today we're going to be jumping in and talking about some poker news. We've got a few stories that I wanted to cover, mainly things making people unhappy. That's actually kind of what we cover every day. But today, people are especially mad. Let's see what they're upset about. First up, we've got PokerStars limiting cash game tables to just 4. That's right. You are only allowed to play 4 cash game tables at a time over on PokerStars. I actually reached out to the Stars Group CEO, Raphael Ashkenazi, and asked him for comment. Raphael said, quote, "Yeah, I mean, it's 4 more tables than we were hoping for, but you gotta start somewhere." Just to be clear, that was a joke. A lot of lawsuit threats these days, and I don't want someone to have to tell me to fuck off. People are also mad about some recent Daniel Negreanu tweets where he decided to run popularity contests amongst different people in poker for apparently no reason. That's right, for anyone who thought to themselves, you know, I know more people like Nick Schulman than Jeff Gross, but I'm just not exactly sure how many. Well, now you know. And you know what? It's not just people that are mad about this one. I am pretty damn livid. I mean, how can he do this? Making fun of Jeff Gross is my thing.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And finally, there were a lot of angry people over on the poker subreddit because they only just found out about Old Man Coffee. I guess I don't really know that they were angry about this, but considering how much they love these, they must have been. People are also mad about party poker. People are also mad about Run It Once. People also are mad about this. People are mad about that. People are angry, and it's time to get into the news. And I can't think of a better topic to kick things off by shamelessly plugging upswingpoker.com. We've got a variety of courses for you to up your game, including the Upswing Poker Lab, which is aimed at small to mid-stakes players, as well as a variety of advanced courses for different game types. If you're looking to take your game to the next level, I'd recommend stopping by at the link in the description below. And you thought they were mad before. Let's kick things off by talking about PokerStars dropping the table limit down to just 4. This is an interesting move. You can only play 4 cash game tables at once. And I've got some mixed feelings. Right, on one hand, this is certainly good for the weaker players as there are less regs that can come hunt them. On the other hand, it can be boring for people that want to play more tables. And then also some of the professional players are not going to be able to play as many hands an hour and will reduce their overall win rate. I'm kind of interested in what effects this is going to have to certain games. I can certainly see the Zoom tables becoming more reg infested. If you can only play 4 tables, it makes sense to play tables, you get those hands in quickly. So this might change the distribution of regs in the Zoom tables versus the regular tables. I don't know what their plans for Zoom are, if they're going to drop that as well. But this does seem to all be geared towards the change of making it harder for good players to win money at the tables. Now, there's a thread on 2+2 where people gather to discuss the intricate effects these will have in the ecosystem, as well as share their opinions in terms of what's going to happen moving forward. Let's look at a couple of the first posts. Lol. To which the imp responded, lol. These guys just have a way with words. There were many other upset posters in the thread. It seemed like mainly it was because they wanted to be able to live or whatever. And look, these guys need to be less selfish. At the end of the day, poker is not about people winning money playing a strategy game. Poker is about grinding away these addicts or users' funds into the largest possible lifetime customer value by allowing them to cash out their equity and lowering the skill in tournaments and slowly sucking the life out of these addicted gambling addicts while you gain power.
The VIP program is broken and the ecosystem is broken.
It's actually better because pros aren't playing.
Anyway, so they did change the table number to 4, just 4 tables now. Notable people in the industry stepped forward to comment on this, including Phil Galfond, who said, "I approach praise and criticism of others' poker sites more carefully than I did when I was just a player, but I think this one is important. My first reaction was, wow, I'm excited and really impressed with PokerStars. My reaction after reading this post is much different." What Galfond goes on to say over a long series of tweets is basically because they are not changing the Zoom number of tables, they're moving the volume from regular ones over to Zoom. And this is really to try and increase the amount of money that's made through the rake because there will be more rake on these tables. It's less efficient for the regs and a variety of other reasons I don't want to get too into. But essentially, this is really PokerStars trying to move things over just towards Zoom games. Now look, we've had a lot of bad news for PokerStars for years now. Things are getting progressively worse. But you know what? It's not about just giving up in the face of adversity. Sometimes you gotta stand in there and take your punches before you can win the fight. I mean, just because things get harder doesn't mean they're impossible, right? You can still fight, you can still swing, you can still throw your punches. So at the end of the day, when you ask me, is the sky falling? The answer is yes. Moving on to our next story, Daniel Negreanu has taken into the Twitter streets to run a series of polls. These polls essentially compare different people from different types of things into certain categories that the man likes polls, and he likes to compare people for popularity purposes. So, I mean, this is just right up his alley. These polls all seem to start innocently enough. On August 2nd, Daniel Negreanu tweeted, "Every poker commentary team must include one of these play-by-play guys," with 4 different mentions. They handle the bells and whistles, keep things on track, and usually let the analysts do their job breaking down the hands, and I also personally like them. Alright, so I might have made up the last part, but sort of implied. From there, he carried on to a long series of tweets that were polls of different people. Let's take a look at a few different ones. First up, Nanonoko versus Prahlad Friedman. Somehow Prahlad won that one. James Hartigan versus David Tuckman. Joe Stapleton versus Norman Chad. That's actually a tough one. I mean, you gotta pick one. There were several other polls, ultimately culminating in ones like, which of these 2 poker expert analysts do you most enjoy listening to? Antonio Esfandiari or Brent Hanks? Tough break there for Brent, but I'm sure I'll take it on the chin. I mean, he is the guy who has to set up the Poker After Dark lineup, so probably not the first time he's been burned. There were a couple other polls too, like Lex Veldhouse against Jamie Kerstetter, which, you know, makes sense because those people do the same thing. And of course, Gabe Kaplan versus Matt Broughton. Well, now you know. Many people felt like this was over the line, totally irrelevant, and also was just angering people. Like, for example, this tweet between Nick Schulman and Jeff Gross Poker got a response, "These polls are so lame, pitting commentators against each other is for the birds," by Nick Schulman. You might be asking yourself, why do this? It's just angering a bunch of people, it doesn't really mean anything, and all it is just one popularity contest between one of the most outspoken people in poker. And the reason is simple. At Negreanu's most core level, the thing that he cares about more than anything else is how popular he is and how popular the people he likes are compared to the people that he doesn't like. These polls are his way of being able to tell everyone, hey, look how cool and popular us, the cool kids are. And look at those not cool kids. Oh, over there, we're really cool. Look at us. Oh, man, really cool. You can just tell this from everything he does, including this random and very weird tweet where he said, Bluff 2010 Reader's Choice Awards. Polls were done on various aspects of poker where fans voted online. My wifey, Radio Amanda, was voted best hostess among a tough group. Also, Staples was voted best announcer by the fans. Just imagine doing that almost 10 years after some irrelevant magazine issues awards. You tweet out to all your followers saying, look how popular my new wife was. See, guys, wasn't she really popular? Okay, cool. Why are you doing this? Anyway, I'm sure we'll learn more about this in Daniel Negreanu's new upcoming movie. And finally, do you remember the days back when you'd log on to the forums, talk strategy with your buds, contemplate what a turn check raise range should look like amongst like-minded individuals? Well, our poker is not that at all. It mainly consists of memes, bad beats, and people hitting royal flushes. In fact, I don't even really know why I bother to read here. But I do, and I actually enjoy some of them. Like this chess meme. Me waking up with pocket kings, old man coffee limping from under the gun, winging a trap with pocket aces. Not really much of a trap there. And the top comment, everything on the chessboard conveys information.
You need to understand.
Or this one, me drunk as shit chasing an inside straight draw. Never tell me the odds. That reminds me of the hand from In Time where Justin Timberlake calls off most of his life on the turn to try and hit a gutter ball. Maybe that should be an episode of Poker Hands. I also like this one, when you're about to fire your third bullet in the Sunday Million and catch your reflection on the monitor. I've been there. It's not a good look. Anyway, if you're someone that finds himself constantly mad, why don't you just swing by our poker and cheer yourself up one of these days? You probably won't, but at least there's someone else who took a bad beat worse than yours. Anyway, that's gonna do it here for Poker News. If you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow.